All right, so it's 11 o'clock. Let's get started. I'd like to welcome everyone to the commercial underwriting show, where we sit back and we underwrite uh, different commercial properties, right? So last week we were discussing 24 townhomes that was located in Texas, and there were some questions that that were sent out to the broker, right? So some of the questions that were sent out to the broker was, can you provide us with a more up-to-date T12 and rent roll? Are the units shown as vacant in March still vacant today? Have there been any concessions offered to tenants recently? Are there any restrictions on the number of Section 8 tenants allowed at the property? So those four questions went to the broker. The only response that came back was, please see attached. I have also attached what they owe. And we'll discuss that part later and later in the as we proceed. So I had to so I gave him a call, left a message on his voicemail. Um, the only thing that I received was the rent roll T12, which was the same exact thing. And I didn't see an attachment to the payoff figure for the property. So the questions were never answered. So in a case like
Red
this,
flag.
what would you say? Now, I think that Leo said red flag, right? That was you, Leo?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why would that be a red flag?
Because you asked him a legitimate question as a potential buyer, and basically he's beating around the bush and not being straightforward with you.
Okay. Okay. That's good. 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 Okay. There's gonna be a second part to your question. So give me 1 minute. Okay. All right. Does anyone else have anything, know, question or something?
Is the broker a residential broker or is he a commercial broker? Doesn't seem to
Commercial
be
broker. Commercial broker
larger.
with years of experience. He's not a baby to this.
He's obviously hiding something. That's like common sense 101. You're a legitimate um, investor looking to potentially buy a property, and you ask them a simple question. Anytime people is beating around the bush, there's something they're hiding. Point blank. Period.
Okay. All right. Okay. Um, and Kenneth, what did you say, Kenneth, again?
Well, I asked the question if he was a commercial broker or a residential broker.
Oh, that's right, right. Okay, okay, okay. Marcus, what's your thoughts? Okay.
I'm
Alicia, what's your
sorry,
thoughts?
Daryl.
Oh,
I'm
sorry,
sorry.
sorry. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
was trying to unmute myself here. I'm waiting to hear the second part of it. If I'm going by what you just made the statement on the first part, I have to agree with the other gentleman. There's something there that he's not revealing. But I was waiting to see what was the second part of that statement you said. So, but based on what you just said, I'm going with the other gentleman.
Alicia, what's your thoughts on this?
Will you please repeat the question?
Um, so so last week there was questions that we asked of the
Mhm,
broker,
mhm.
but the questions weren't answered. The only thing he replied to was, um, let me read it. The only because I don't want to. So the only thing he replied, how he replied was, please see attached. I have also attached what they owe. And now there's more, but I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop right there. But that's what he said. So when I went, as I checked the email and I scrolled to all, as I scroll through all of the
Data. He said to
yeah,
you.
all of the threads,
Mhm.
the only thing that was attached was the same T12 and the same railroad, which was for March.
Okay,
So
so
so then I replied back to him and I said, no, not excuse me. I called and had
okay.
to leave and left a voicemail and said to him the only thing, oops, sorry about that. The only thing that was attached to the email was the rent roll and the T12. That's from March.
Mhm.
I didn't see any other attachment. And so I'm just waiting for a reply back.
Okay.
So
So a few things is the broker may be busy and he may be getting downloaded with a bunch of questions for this property. And so he may not have the information and he should have responded and said, I don't have it. They're working on it, they're not going to provide it, whatever the case may be. But there are times where we need to help them out and say, hey, do you have the updated numbers since March? That's
right.
April, that's May. Do you have those? Because now we're July 1 and the seller should be working on June financials. And I have investors that I need to present this to, and these numbers are too old. It doesn't
Right.
show if the property's improved. And that's how I would take it, because then they understand, okay, this is a serious buyer and they need this data in order to underwrite it to see if they want the property or not. They're not going to take extra steps if you don't seem legit. It may
Right.
just seem, that nosy neighbor syndrome is what I usually call it. So I would ask those questions and I would make a second call or email and just keep it simple. Say, hey, I have folks interested, but we need updated numbers. Do you have April through May at the very least?
Right. Okay.
That's
So
perfect.
so now, in reference to what Alicia said, I did do. I did that. I called and I said, listen, I said, we're meeting on this property. We need the information. But I haven't, of course, I haven't heard back yet. So, so now I'm throwing the second part that that's also in the email. And what's in the email that he added was, so I'm going to read the email again, but I'm going to take it to the end. Please see attached. I have also attached what they owe. They're looking to cover that plus closing costs in order to sell.
Hmm.
How would y'all take that?
They just went out.
They just went out.
So the
Yep.
property may be valued more than what they owe,
Yeah.
and they just went out.
They just
So
went out. Yeah.
so this ugh. So do we know what the property is worth?
So if we,
What it
so
should be worth?
okay,
Let me say that.
right. So let me say this. I continued. I went up into the tax records, and for those of you that know how I operate, I wanted to see the tax trend, of course, so that I can get an idea of the taxes. And in Harris County, the taxes have been, the tax rate has been going up, has been going down. Of course, what is constant is the uh, tax rate is going up and down, but the appraised value, whoa.
You can't pause for that long without saying anything.
Yeah, you pause it too long. What's going on?
So the appraised value and went it went down in 2024. So the appraised value in 2023 was 2.4 million. Then the appraised value in 2024, it went down to 1.8 million. And then in 2025, the appraised value went up slightly to 1.9 million.
So did they protest taxes?
So that part I don't know.
Okay.
I can't say. But since you mentioned that, let's discuss that, right? Because I know how Texas calculate their taxes. Their taxes are not calculated like millage rate, blah, 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 this, that, that. It's not calculated that way.
Right.
Remember, when it comes to taxes, what is the state of Texas?
I don't know what it's called.
I don't know. Was business friendly? I mean,
They base it off of the sale price, don't they?
Mm-mm,
No? Okay.
mm-mm. The state of Texas is a non-disclosure state.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Non-judicial.
So if you are a non-disclosure state, there is not, don't think they don't have a system, because they do. You're going to rat yourself out. They're not going to rat you out, because you have to report the truth, not unless you are not a straight and upright investor. Okay. What do I mean by that? Yeah. So Texas is a non-disclosure state, and they do not go by the sale price of your property. What they do, they have a system of where they calculate the value by asking you about your rents.
so based on what you just said, Daryl, their rents went down. And we have to find out the reason why the rents went down.
Yep.
And that's the reason why the assessment went down. Because when they
Yep.
disclosed it to the government, the assessment went down. Okay.
So in 2023, they were still in a bad shape. And that's
Yes.
only now. So what is my conclusion of me saying that? That assessed value going down, and me knowing how they assess properties in Harris County and in Liberty County, that income dropped on that property. And so the income must have went up a little bit in 2025, because now I see their vast value went up just by 100,000.
So maybe they had the vacancy because that one had high vacancy, and now they're filling the units, but they may be filling them with lower rent rate, lower base rent.
Section 8,
Right.
because
Right.
we
Section
did
8,
see all the Section 8.
but Section 8 should be market rent though.
Yeah, that's great to say, Dow. Section 8
True.
plays market, wherever you at.
That's true, but maybe they're not charging market.
Okay.
That's
So
true.
somebody
I agree with the both of you. I agree with the both. Listen, I agree with the both of you.
somebody needs to go down there then.
Yeah, physically see the property and talk
Yeah.
to the folks and look at it. Because there is something going on. He probably don't have the financials, and if he do, he doesn't want to disclose them because that means that you're going to offer less money than what they're looking to cover.
Right. So
Maybe because you can assume the loan though, right? Is this an assumable?
No, it doesn't say anywhere in the OM. It's assumable. What he did say was they're willing to take the loss.
Yeah.
They will cover the balance of the loan and the close cost. So then they know they got to take a loss on this
Right.
property.
I was going to say, Alicia, would you even consider assuming a loan if they overpaid for the price from Jump Street? I mean,
I
why
don't
would
know
we want?
if they overpaid. Okay, so here's the starting point. What year did they purchase the property in?
Hold on one second. I'm gonna see if I could find that. Okay, give me 1 second. All right.
Okay, because I would ask the year that they purchased it in, then we can gauge
Wait,
if they may or may
wait a
not have
minute.
overpaid.
I would like to add. I would like to ask a favor. That's why. That's what I would like to. I'd like to ask a favor
Okay.
to Marcus.
Yes, sir.
If I give you the address,
Okay.
would you look it up on CoStar for me?
Absolutely.
Ooh, Marcus, you're big time. You have co-star.
You know, your buddy got it too. So,
You know what? I was thinking there may be a co-broker as well.
Give me 1 second, Marcus.
yeah, let me just log in.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
You said a co-broker, but that shouldn't, I mean, yes,
Right,
he
I'm
has a
ready, Doc.
broker,
All
but
right, I'm gonna text it to you.
Okay.
that's probably gonna be wrapped up into the closing costs. So they're gonna lump all of that stuff in because the broker has to get paid out of closing.
All right. How you doing, Tiffany? Welcome.
I
How,
got them all
Okay.
down.
how's it going?
All right. How you doing, Moses? How you doing, Cedric? Welcome to the Commercial Underwriting Show, where we discuss underwriting.
You should definitely ask Moses that question.
And today we're discussing a 24 unit property that's located in Texas. And Marcus is helping us out here because I don't have CoStar no more. So just to get everyone caught up while Marcus is logging in and everything, just to get everyone caught up, we're looking at, we're discussing a property that's in Texas, 24 units, and these are townhomes. And
Hmm.
there's a couple of we went through the process of looking at the rent roll T12 already, and there were some questions that had to be asked of by the had to be answered, that is, by the broker. But the broker, when he replied, the only thing the only thing he did was sent over
The same.
the same rent roll T12, but he did say that the sellers would be willing to cover the loss and cover the closing costs, right? So that right there was like, whoa, okay. So now Alicia had asked the question, well, hold on a minute. What's owed on this property? So Marcus, and I really
So,
appreciate this,
yeah,
Marcus. Thank you.
Darryl, I'm ready when you are. The
Yeah.
original loan for this property when it was sold in 2018 was 2.4 million.
Billion or million?
Million.
2.4
Okay.
million. And they
Two
have
point.
a balance of 1.8 left.
Okay. So what I did, okay, now hold tight to that, Marcus, right there.
All right.
Because what I did, everyone, I said to myself, hold on and give me 1 second here. Market cap rate in Houston right now, I think is running about a 6. If we get a loan on this, it's going to have to be a bridge because they're just way too, Fannie and Freddie will not give a loan on this. Okay, so it's going to have to be a bridge. So I'm thinking in today's market, what are we seeing for rates for a bridge, and how long? What are we
9
seeing?
to 15% for
It,
like
$15?
2-3 years. Oh, there's Richard. What they saying?
it,
What they saying, Richard?
it depends on where you're going. SOFR plus, just say 500 right now. I'm doing a bridge deal here in the Texas market, and we're at I want to say we're at 10.5 for that one. That's probably I think that's about a $12 million deal. We're 10.5 on that one, and that one's going to be fixed. But it depends on where
So
you go.
so wait a minute, Richard, did you say a $12 million deal?
Yeah,
Okay, $12 million deal. Okay, so and you say around about 10.5, right?
yeah, 10.5 on that one.
Okay, so if it's 10.5 on a $12 million deal, and let's just say this is a $2 million deal, would the rate still be about the same, or would the rate you think be a little more?
If it's $2 million, it should be about the same. If it dips below 2 million, then they might put a premium on it. Uh,
Okay, so I'm going to then bump that to 12.5. No, 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 no. The loan to value would be what?
on that deal we're doing there, that is 80% the cost.
Okay, hold on 1 second. 80%. And I'm going to say 12. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. 12.5%. And this is IO for 24 months?
Yes, I have for 24 months on that
Okay.
one.
All right, 24-month IO. All right. So
Yeah,
Any
I don't have
extensions
I
on
don't
it?
have the rest of my I don't have the rest of my
I
numbers
typically
in.
try to set them up with at least 1 to 2 extensions.
Okay. Okay, so all right, great. So I did put that in, but I don't have all the numbers in. Okay, so what does that mean? Let's do this. Investors, I'm just gonna say 25, 25. Let's just crank this down all the way to 25%. All right. Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me share my screen with you so you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm up here typing in and not sharing. That's not nice. All right. So, so what I did, let me just go back a little bit. I'm right here at financing, right? So here at the front now, I did not put in the renovation cost, which I should go back to renovation. Let me just go back to renovation. All right, 24 units renovated, and I'm just gonna let's just say let's say 8,000 right there. Let's just say $8,000 a renovation. Um That's for interior. And then exterior, let's just say maybe 3,000 a unit. That may be a little bit too much, and we could probably, well, let's not just, I don't want to take a risk. So let's, okay, let's do that. So now I have that in sources. Let's go ahead and still continue here with everything else. Okay. Now, closing costs is going to be absorbed by the seller. All right.
Wow,
I'm
they
still,
really want to get out of this property, huh?
yeah.
Do they have money to bring to
Okay.
the table?
And 25. Well, if they're paying off the balance of the loan, they're already bringing money to the table. 2.5. All right.
Daryl,
Yeah.
Cedric asked, why are they running?
That's something that we're trying to find out. And that's something that we're trying to find out right now. But I just need someone that's, if I had someone that was in Texas, which I do, um, but I need to find out what's up with this property. I need to see what's going on. Only thing I do know is that they have a high vacancy. Um, they want out. Could it be because they're inexperienced? Could it be because they're just in financial trouble?
Hey, where's the property? I know I'm late coming in.
It's in Texas.
Where about it?
Oh, I'll discuss that later.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll discuss that later with you. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
we're
do
gonna
that.
need a pretty good capex budget based on these pictures.
More than 8,000 a unit.
And just on the exterior, some of these units look pretty good. How you feel about carpeting throughout the whole unit, Alicia?
You're
You
muted. You're
muted.
muted, Alicia.
I would have to see how it's holding up. I don't like it.
Mm.
I mean, I just like carpet in the rooms, but if they're
Yeah,
not taking care of it, I wouldn't.
they got carpet all on the stairs and on the
No,
floors. Yeah.
that's a tripping hazard too.
What do you think, Dow?
So I don't like carpet except like Alicia said in the bedrooms. So they
Yeah.
could get out of the bed and step on a warm floor. It's not like it'd be freezing all the time in Texas, but
Right.
when it does get cold, it get cold. But I'm not a big fan of Texas. I mean, I'm not a big fan of carpet, especially if you got pets and all of that. And
Okay.
that smell stays in them.
So I'm
And
gonna
now
stand corrected.
and now they have such good quality and flooring
Right.
where um one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people used to put carpet in on the upper level floors were because so that the people downstairs wouldn't hear, wouldn't it would reduce the sound.
Right.
But now they have very good quality of flooring that absorbs the sound and for the tenants downstairs. So we could really, and the quality of the flooring, waterproof, right? Waterproof. So
Yeah.
I think we should. I would stick with wood flooring. Well, I would stick with non-carpet for right now.
So I'm gonna backtrack. The carpeting is from the stairs leading up to the second floor. So all of the bedrooms and the
Mhm.
stairs leading up there. The dining room and the living room has flooring, and the kitchen has tile.
Okay.
How does
So
the
would you
kitchen
say?
look? Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, do you think $8,000 would be enough? Now, again, we're basing this off of listen. This is the commercial underwriting show is an educational platform. All right, this is an educational platform. This is where you come, you learn how to underwrite. Okay, this, and you can ask any type of question that you want, because by us being educational platform, there is no such thing as a what? A dumb question, a stupid question.
Absolutely.
Okay. We have brokers in here that will answer questions. We have a lender in here that will answer questions. So when you come to the commercial underwriting show, we're here to help you, okay, to get educated and to make decisions that to reduce your risk when buying a property. Because believe it or not, all of us in this room, we have seen things. We know what goes on, especially with new investors. You're anxious. You want to get your first deal, and you cut corners sometimes. Sometimes you may cut a corner here, cut a corner there, when you shouldn't be cutting corners at all. Or you do something to make the deal look like it will work. But in actuality, when you start peeling back the layers, you realize it doesn't work. Okay. So I just wanted to say that, just, so don't hold back. Ask questions. That's what we're here for. Okay. So Marcus, based on just off of the pictures and that you're looking at, would you say 8 grand may maybe suffice?
Yes, but we need definitely gonna have to upgrade the exterior.
Gotcha. For the exterior, I allocated 3,000 per unit. Do you think I should bump that to 5?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So let's
Why do
bump
you
that to
say
5.
that? Does it need paint and landscape cleanup or?
Paint, landscape, repair the carports, new advertisement signs. And they don't have asphalt; they have the stone driveways,
Oh,
which is not, that might have to be touched up and stuff over there. Yeah, I'm trying to get
Okay.
a photos. I'm trying to send Dow the photos and see if he wants to bring them up and show him.
So so I'm not going to bring
3,500,
them up right now.
Okay.
35,
Okay.
3,500 a unit. That was a lot. They just mentioned.
I bumped you for the exterior. I bumped it to 5.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, you said
Okay.
5. Yes.
Yeah. And for the interior, I took it to 8.
Yes. That'd be fine.
Yeah.
So where
Coach
we,
only gave him 2 stars now, Alicia. What did I tell you?
I don't pay attention to those stars.
Okay, that's all I'm asking.
It's so
Yeah.
subjective.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Okay, that's why I
Yeah.
brought it out and asked you.
Yeah. I agree with Alicia on that one.
Yeah, they only gave him 2 out of 5. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So
Um,
so go ahead, Alicia. Go ahead.
yeah. So with all the changes that you did, where does it say that we can purchase the property at?
Okay. So with the hold on one second. With the changes that I didn't finish. I got to put in the exit cap rate. The going in cap, I put 6. I'm going to leave it my exit. The market cap rate I put at 6, and I'm going to leave I'm gonna leave my exit cap at 6, and I'm expecting questions from that. I am. I really am. I'm expecting questions from that. Okay, hold on one second.
Mm-mm.
All right.
And you're not showing your screen.
Oh, I'm not? Oh, hold on. Alicia, I'm glad because I'm up here just I'm telling you, I'm up here just pinging, man. And okay. So here we go right here. Okay. So based on what has been inputted right now. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta change this because this is a bridge. Oh, I put it in the wrong spot. Okay, I did say 12.5. 24 months. Loan amount. Zero for the additional project cost of finance. Okay, so Alicia, so to answer your question, I probably didn't have to do that because I already know, we already know this is going to be the senior debt. No, so although I'm gonna change this back to no, everyone, and I'm gonna tell you why. Let's just say let's just say we go ahead and get the loan. We already know it's 80%, and that is going to be the senior debt. It's not going to be no other debt on this. So that's going to, and plus this is not a construction, only used if construction is financed. So we're not doing that. That's the main reason. We're not doing a construction. So I'm gonna just ignore this, all right? Because we're not doing a construction. This is senior debt, but it is going to be a bridge. Okay. So we at the 12.5. So Alicia, to answer your question now, where do we stand? We're standing at 1.9 million. That's where we stand. That's 80,000 a door.
And that's fine because they're selling at what, what was that, 1.5 or 1.8?
Wait, is that Richard talking? Richard?
That is
Richard?
not me talking. That's somebody else.
Oh, I thought I heard money being mentioned. That's why I was like, hey.
That was me. I said, are they selling at 1.5 or 1 point? I mean, is the loan at 1.5 or 1.8?
I hear what you're hearing, Daryl. Somebody, it's a low rumble in the background. Somebody talking.
That's me talking.
No, not
No,
me
that's not
talking. We
you.
can hear you clearly, but
Yeah.
it's another voice that's very low that he keeps picking up, and I hear it too.
Oh, I was saying that. So
No,
the
no, no.
loan,
No, we heard you, but I
no,
could hear another. I
you
could
can
hear
hear
like
my
somebody else.
husband in the background.
Oh,
Oh,
talking
that
money.
might be it then.
Okay, I heard him talking money. Now tell him to come on over here with this money. All right. Hold on one second, at least. Let me try to see if I can find that information.
That
Exactly
would
what
have
they're.
been in what Marcus
The
said.
balance is 1.8 down
Oh,
on the
that's right.
first
So
mortgage. It's 1.8.
right. So the balance is 1.8. Sorry about that. Yeah. So if the balance
And
is
Marcus, that would have been as of what, a couple months ago?
Yes, first mortgage. Yep.
Okay, so it's a little less than that
Well, it's interesting.
if
They
they're
the person.
paying it.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Alicia.
No, I said it's a little less than that if they're paying it.
They
correct.
they got the mortgage in November of 2021. It was 2.4. They bought it from a seller who purchased the property in April of 2017. They paid 1.2, $50,000 a door. And then they sold it to the current owner for $100,000 a door at 2.4.
And what the numbers that I have, my IRR is coming in at 16.97. And this is based on 5 years, everyone. Not, oh, we're only going to hold this for 24 months. That's it. We're only holding this for 24 months.
Hey, Darryl, would a 42% vacancy will affect this? This is what CoStar is saying.
Yeah, it will. That's the you can't get a Fannie Freddie. You got to go
Okay,
bridge.
actually, it's 41.7, so that's why I said 42%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna need to change this because the sell price does not exceed the project cost. Let me drop this to a 717. Okay, so now it does. Now we add. Okay, so oh, you still can't see my page. Hold on a minute. Let me show you what I did. Okay, so this is what I did. Now, this is just a fictitious number because if I'm not mistaken, and Richard could correct me on this one, Houston right now for 1980 building, they should be running, the market cap should be running about a 6. Would any, am I off bases or on bases on that?
Probably about right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we know that it's running about a 6. That means in order for us to acquire this asset, we have to purchase this property at a 1.7, which is 71,000 or 72,000 a door. That way we have a sales to exceed. Now, hold on a minute. Let me check all my error check marks. I got some error check marks I need to look at. Debt service required, debt service. Oh, I need to fix that. Let me see. Oh, fail. So that means we have to readjust. Yeah, I know why this failed. So we're going to have to readjust this. Can't, yeah, I got to readjust that too. Equity multiple is not a 2, so 1.5. Yeah, I got to readjust that too. Based on, okay, and then, yeah, I got to readjust this here too. Okay. So this property is going to come in less. Because, yeah, in order for me to get my equity multiple to a 2, I'm going to drop this to a 5. And I'm still not at a 2 for the equity multiple.
Drop your interest rate from 12.5 to 11.5.
Take it to 11.5.
Yeah.
Okay, 11.5. Still not quite there. Do you think since he's willing to cover closing costs, I should adjust my closing costs?
If he's covering closing costs, then you can zero it out.
All right.
I wouldn't.
How about not zero it out, but how about we take it down to 2?
That's fine.
Okay.
That's assuming he's covering it all.
Right. Okay.
That'll just be some reserve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still didn't help out. Oh, hold on a minute. What is this? Annotate. What is that? blocking me from being able to see my this is what we're going to have to readjust. We're going to have to readjust this number here. Wait. Hold it. Let's go to, all right. Okay, so currently, hold on a minute. For those, if you have a question, please ask your question. Don't hesitate. Yeah. Okay. So what I did, 10 vacant units out of 24, they give us a 41% vacancy rate. So during the first year, we're looking at cutting that in half. But can we, and that's all dependent on the quality of that unit to where we could cut it in half. So, but if we could bring that 20% down to even say by end of year one, have this at 10%. And remember, for a small unit, these numbers like this really does hurt your property. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We would have to be very aggressive if we were to say, okay, down. Well, if we were to just, even if we were to get, yeah. Okay,
Let me
so
talk
everyone,
to
let me say this right quick. Hold on 1 minute for me, Richard. Hold on for a minute. The pendulum swings both ways when it comes to a small property. Okay, what do I mean by that? And when it comes to vacancy, the same way that the vacancy, those percentages can increase largely by even 2 units being vacant, where or 3 units, and the lender looking like, yo, why is your vacancy rate so high? The same way they can ask that question, and the same way you can see that is the same way you'll see it when it's the other way. So we got 10 vacancies that put us at 41%. The same. Now we would have filled about 3 or 4 units within that year, or 5 units within that year. That would bring our vacancy rate right down. Okay, so that's what I mean when I say the pendulum swings both ways. But depending on the quality of those apartments, well, is also going to depend on how many units we're going to have ready by end of year one, and how aggressive we can be, right? So what does that mean? Let's say we acquire the property. As soon as we acquire the property, if those units need renovation, if they need renovation, those that need the renovation, we'll go ahead and renovate. But those that are habitable and ready to go with minor stuff, let's lease it up. So this is the strategy that we will have to go in with. Let's lease it up to bring our vacancy down. By end of year one, we may be at a 5%. So for that sake, I'm going to drop that vacancy from a 20 to a 10. I would like to hear your opinion. Tell me what you think. Richard, Moses, Alicia, everyone here, tell me what you think about what I just said I was going to do.
Well, I was going to go in that same vein of thought. If you had 24 units and you got 40% vacant, that's 10 units right there. So you should be able to turn those in about 2 months at most. So assuming that all things being equal and the market is still there, as you begin to lease those units up within the 2 months after you renovate them, you can also automatically start increasing the rent on the non-renovated units. The tenants are already there, so you're making up money with new units at the higher rent, and you're also making up money with increased rents on the old units. And from that standpoint, so technically being a small property, you possibly could have all the units turned within inside of a year. Because what you can do is offer the new units to those older tenants and say, hey, would you like to switch over to this better unit at a higher rent? And if they accept it, then they get you another unit to renovate. So you can technically could do it within a 12-month period.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Richard. Thanks. Anyone else? Anyone else like to say?
I'm not comfortable with 10%, and I'm gonna tell you why. One, you're gonna probably have to offer concessions, or you're gonna compete because you got to get. We don't know, I don't know the whole picture here, but I'm assuming for them, you can't solely assume that it's bad management or not experienced management that's causing it. I'm gonna be based on the economic cycle and the market cycle we're in. I'm gonna lean more. It's probably a combination of both, and I don't know. Even if you fill it up and go to the 10%, you're probably going to have a concession, or your market rent's not going to be there. So you're still taking an overall loss in your revenue.
Gotcha. See
I would
everyone.
see-
Excuse me 1 minute, Alicia. See
Yeah.
everyone. See how we work together here. That's why you should come to the commercial underwriting show. That's why. You learn here. We discuss things here. Okay? That's why you should come. Be a part of this. Go ahead, Alicia.
I was just gonna say is I would see what the neighborhood vacancy is.
Yeah.
And because from what I recall over the last few weeks, this particular unit is renting under market rent.
Yeah, some of them. Yeah.
So given that they're already renting for under market rent, if they just kept the rent the same or under market, but boosted it a little bit and renovated the units, because one, we need to see what the other units are in the market. If they're not renovated and we renovate these, then we could essentially charge more. But we also take the risk of if you renovate them and we can't charge more. So I would want to see what's in the area. I think that's going to be a huge part of deciding to move forward. But I
Gotcha.
do think that you can renovate those units that are currently vacant. I would definitely do that.
Okay.
Renovate them all at the same time. That keeps costs lower if, as opposed to doing them individually. They can go do all the flooring, all the walls, all the paint,
Is it
Just hit it. Just go in and hit it.
Yeah.
is it washers and dryers in the units? Is it washers and dryers in the units?
He's
Yes.
checking.
Yes,
Okay.
they're charging
Okay.
them for it.
And that's, yeah,
They're
I would
charging
think-
them for it, Marcus?
Yep, yes,
Hold on 1 second. Marcus,
yes, sir.
where did you see that? Oh, hold on.
I thought there was a laundry amount.
They have they have the connections. But you see them in there, right?
Yes, some of the units actually see them in there.
Okay, hold on 1 second then. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so Marcus, you said they charging them for them?
Yes. I'm looking at it. They have $23,000 here, and I'm trying to figure out where is it from.
Because I'm looking at this T12 and it says, oh wait, yeah, it doesn't have.
It says 2 bedrooms, 1.5 bath. Every unit has, I'm sorry, now, I'm corrected. It has washer and dryer connections. That's what it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that
What
okay,
I'm
that
looking at
confirmed.
is the dishwashers and stuff. Yeah, they have washer and dryer connections. I apologize.
Gotcha. All right, so then everyone, okay, so it does say that it has the wash and dry connections. It does say that. However, I don't see no charge for wash and dryers that being rented or whatever. Okay, that probably people probably bring their own washer and dryers and stuff like that. So as of right now, just to since we got 5 minutes left to recap on where we are. Matter of fact, before I get into the recap, um, uh, I have my gut is telling me something, right? And I want to hear from all of you. What y'all think about this deal? Or for the information that you received last week, this week, tell me what y'all thinking about this deal.
I can't really think too much about it because I need to see it. I want
I
to
like
know if
that.
there's foundation, structural issues. What does
Right.
the roof look like? Because there's
Right.
got to be a reason why this property is on the market for the length of time that it is. And the owners are like, look, just basically take this debt overhead from us. We will pay whatever fees we need to pay and get it off. But they
Gotcha.
could be older. I don't
Right.
I doubt that they're older because they just purchased it in 2018, right? So
Right.
I have some concerns. I mean,
Right.
I want to know more. I mean, it doesn't scare me, but I need more answers.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you on that.
Yeah,
Uh
Daryl.
yeah.
Yeah, Daryl.
Yes.
Hey, Alicia. How you doing, Alicia? How y'all doing?
All right.
How you
Very
doing,
good.
Mr. Jarvis?
Y'all doing good, good. Let me recap what I'm thinking, and then come back to me. What I'm thinking is that you got, I think you said 42% vacancy. One of the questions I would ask is, what is the market per unit? That's number one. The market value per
Mhm.
unit. Then you mentioned that you're going to charge $8,000 per unit to renovate it. So that's how the per unit come into play. So it was 80 when you say 80,000 per unit on this particular property here, is that the same as the market per unit? That's one of the questions I would ask right there. The other one probably would be now the 1 point whatever the number you coming up with the offer price. That's based on is that based on the financials right now? I know you mentioned IRR and some other things, but the price that you offering now is that price you offer now based on the financials as it is? Those two questions right off the bat I would ask you.
Mhm. Okay. So no, question number two is no. Question number two, the financials are old. They're from March. Question number one, that's going to have to be investigated.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Okay. All right. So it's 11:59. I would like to talk with Richard after this. And everyone, I would like to thank you all for coming out to the Commercial Underwriting Show. This is where we hope to pass our knowledge and our experience off to you so that you can learn, so that you can reduce your risks. You have a lot of experience in here. And if you took all the experience that's in this right here, that's in this Zoom meeting, it probably equal up to about 300 years. Why did I say it? I'm just, but just add all the years, everyone. Just add the years of everyone that's here. I'm sure the experience is astronomical. So, But
You're
seriously,
old now. You're old.
I know. But seriously speaking, this is where you can learn and you can reduce your mistakes and you could get help because we will help you if you need help. So I want to thank everyone for coming out to the commercial underwriting show. And hopefully by our next meeting, which will be next Tuesday at 11 o'clock, I'll have some more answers. And if you happen to get an email from me before next Tuesday, that's because something came up that you need to know. And I'm filling out who may be, dot, dot, dot. Right? All right. So thank you for coming to the commercial underwriting show. See everyone back here, 11 o'clock, Tuesday. Thank you, everyone. Have a blessful day and a blessful week. Don't eat too much
Right.
on the 4th of July.